Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, recently I've been having a little bit of drama with the guy that runs the CPW channel. Now, if you didn't see the last video, he deprived me of £10 and he deprived me of a lovely steak dinner. Now, I didn't want to come here today and reopen old wounds. You can easily go back and find out what I'm talking about if you really want to, but what I really wanted to do today in this video was hit him with an olive branch. No, that's not right, is it? Sorry, extend an olive branch. That's the one. And I want to be positive today because it turns out that his channel have just passed a huge milestone. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I can announce that CIW have just reached 400 subscribers. Come on, everybody, round of applause. Come on, everybody. If you're not joining in, come on. Woo! Woohoo! 400 subscribers. I tell you what, that is one hell of an achievement. All joking aside, that is a monumental milestone to pass. Now, as you know, everybody, I'm 31 years of age, and it's taken them about 15 years to get to 400 subscribers, and I've got my calculator open here, and if I times that by no, I've missed the divide out, hang on. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out on my calculator what will happen first. Will CIW get to 500 subscribers, or will I pass away from old age? I'll tell you what, it's going to be a close race, but they may just get there first, maybe at the point where I'm sat on my deathbed and there's only a few short hours left. No, again, all joking aside, I came here today to end this. I'm 31 years old, he's 57, that's probably a fair estimate. And we're not getting any younger. He looks quite frail, he looks weak, and he looks malnourished, let's be honest. He needs to get out in the sun, and do you know what I worry about his health? I worry that the stress from all of this drama could cause his heart to give up at any moment, and the last thing that I would want is something like that on my conscience. Obviously, I'm a nice guy, and I wouldn't want something like that happening. So today I wanted to throw a hatchet at him. No, that's wrong again, isn't it? Today I wanted to bury the hatchet, that's it. There's been a lot of reasons why this drama started. You know, he made promises he went back on, but I can let that go. It's not the end of the world. He told lies about me again. It's not a good thing, but I can let that one slide. I can move on with my life, but there's one thing that he needs to correct first to mend this rift before we can actually mend fences. Now, I don't literally mean he needs to mend an actual fence. Although now that I think about it, I do have a broken fence panel in my garden. Maybe if he came over to England and literally mended my fence, that would go away to mend the metaphorical fences that are causing this feud. But no, the real issue here, and the one that, the elephant in the room, so to speak, is the £10 that he cost me. The £10 that he cost me that deprived me of buying a lovely piece of fillet steak and having a beautiful dinner for the ages. One that I probably would have remembered for the rest of my life, certainly for the next few weeks anyway. Now, I am monetised now, and I could keep making videos until I claw back that £10 in ad revenue by continuing to talk about him, and eventually it probably will make me that £10 back, but do you know what? I want to be the bigger man today. And I'd rather give him the chance to make this right and end all this drama and all this, all this fighting, and let's just move on with our lives. Now, as you know, it cost me £10. If he wants to end this today, and he can quite easily, he could just send me that £10 in cash and I'll move on. We'll forget about all of this. I am aware that the US dollar's not quite worth the same as the British pound, so I've got my calculator open for that reason. I'm going to do a little bit of quick maths here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to work out the exact amount in dollars that he would have to send me to make this right. I've got the little formula to work this out, so obviously we've got one British pound. That's worth more than a US dollar, so if we divide that by that and then multiply it, well, I'll tell you what, that's coming out a little bit lower than expected, so I'm going to round that figure up a little bit. Because obviously, there's got to be a little bit more in there, hasn't there? For the emotional stress, for the trauma, for the fact that this has deeply affected my life. I can't function anymore since all of this drama started. That's the kind of guy I am. I don't like drama, I don't like stress. I just want a peaceful life, and I just want to move on. So I'm going to round that figure up to reflect the trauma and, heartache that he's caused me. So how about saying $1,000? I think that's a fair figure. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, he's just using this as an opportunity to get himself some money. Well, that's not the case at all, you see. Because I wanted to end this on a positive. Do you know what? I want something good to come out of this. I want there to be a legacy behind this. A legacy of positivity. A legacy of helping people out, people less fortunate than ourselves. You know, we all remember the classic kit from the people that did Live Aid. There's a world outside our window, and it's a world of something too. I think that's what they said. And, you know, I'm very aware of that. I've got a big heart, an enormous heart. I'm amazed my rib cage isn't like the size of a building because my heart is so big. Now, I'm not sure his heart is quite as big as mine, but I want to make sure something good comes out of this. So, if he sends me that $1,000, I will use the money left over once I've bought my steak and obviously took a little bit for the emotional stress and the damage it's done to me as a person. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it. It's beautiful, this. I'll send the remaining money to a guide dogs charity. Now just think of that, people. You know, there's a blind person out there somewhere that can't get around. You know, they can't leave the house. Their life is on hold, basically. And with just the help from the guy at CIW, with just that little bit of money, I could send that money across to them and it'd make their day. It'd change their life for the better. And isn't that just a beautiful thing? So that's what I'll do. You know, you send me that $1,000 and I will send the whatever's left over after I've took a little bit for myself over to the guide dogs. And you could change somebody's life for the better. Something positive could come out of this. And then we could both move on with our lives. I just think that's just a beautiful thing, isn't it? Now, if you've got a heart down there at CIW, I'm sure everybody watching this video has a big heart just as I do. Not quite as big as my heart, obviously. I have the biggest heart in the north of England. But if you've got a heart down there at CIW, you do the right thing, won't you? And you'll send that $1,000 across. And I'll tell you what, if you send it, mate, I'll even delete the emails that have been threatening to leak. Because you know what? I really mean, let bygones be bygones. As long as you just send me this money and do the right thing. I'll tell you what, I'm so generous. My generosity is through the roof today. It's unmeasurable. I'll even let you pay it me in instalments. You don't even have to pay me that $1,000 in one go. You can do it in instalments. Obviously, there'd have to be a reasonable rate of interest applied if you were to do it in instalments, because the value of money goes up all the time with inflation. It wouldn't be fair on me to lose out because you want to pay it in instalments, but I'm prepared to make that offer. So, you know, I hope this will mend the bridges between us. I hope this will heal the rift, so to speak. You know, I don't think I can be more generous than this, and I think you'll agree in the comments that I may be the most generous person in the world. I mean, just think of that. I'll tell you what, if Bob Geldof seen this, his heart would be opened up. I think it'd bring a tear to his eye, as I'm sure it'll bring a tear to everybody's eye at home, the fact that I'm trying to do some good here. I'm trying to, you know, change the life of a blind person. And all I need for CIW to do is just do their end of the bargain, and that beautiful thing will come to fruition. That's going to end it for today. Again, CIW, opportunity to do the right thing, to do some good in your life. If you have a heart, you'll send this money across. I hope that you'll find it in your conscience to do the right thing, not only by me, not only by the viewers to this channel, but by a poor, defenceless blind person who sat at home waiting for a guide dog, and you could be the man to deliver that to him. What a beautiful thing that'd be. That's it for today, folks. I'll see you next time.